Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you didn't know, I started my lock journey almost 4 years ago now, which is absolutely crazy. Little Haley would never imagine me growing up having locks, but now that I've had them, it's by far the best decision I think I've ever made. Although there are some things that I've learned along the way that definitely could have helped me in the start of it. Today I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and the do's and the don'ts of locks. I'm not here to waste anyone's time, so let's just get into the video. One of the most common misconceptions that I hear about locks is that we aren't allowed to wash our hair. I don't know who told y'all that or where that came from.
It is definitely a racist stereotype that tries to depict black hairstyles as dirty and untamed.
I'm here to tell you that myth is completely false. Water is definitely a very essential part of maintaining healthy locks and can speed up the process and help them lock faster. It is true that overwashing them when you're first starting can lead to them unraveling, but with black hair, it's not healthy to overwash our hair anyway. When I first started my lock journey, I washed my hair before every retwist, which I had monthly. Now that my locks are more mature, I spray them every single day, which I definitely recommend you guys to do. And it helps strengthen them and keep them moisturized. This is what I've recently been using. It's rose water mist, but you can honestly just use normal water. When this runs out, I'm just going to refill this with some water and some oil. Mist it every day. Totally good. Matter of fact, let me get a little... Yeah, that feels good. If you want to speed up that quote-unquote ugly stage and that budding stage, definitely mix your locks with water daily. This first don't is very important, and some of y'all might get a little mad at me for this, but when your locks have matured, you do not need to retwist them very often. When I was in my starter stages in my first few months, I got my hair retwisted monthly. But when they were really starting to bud, this was around probably my 7th month, I started stretching out my retwist to actually give my hair time for that new growth to come and so they could actually lock more efficiently. It's actually pretty unhealthy to get your hair frequently retwisted when your hair is mature. Locks naturally aren't really supposed to even be touched. The idea of retwisting is a very new thing. Retwisting too frequently can cause thinning to your locks and breakage, and I really like to stay away from that. Now that my locks are fully mature, I personally like to go months without getting a retwist. This is for many reasons, with the main one being I just like how it looks. A retwist also isn't cheap. But when your locks are mature, it's really up to you when you want to get your hair retwisted. I'd recommend getting them no earlier than about a month and a half from your last retwist, at minimum. But to me, if you can still see your scalp, you don't need a retwist. You're perfectly fine. My first month locked, I wore a do-rag and a bonnet to keep my locks in place while sleeping. I would not recommend wearing a do-rag for more than a month. What you need is a satin bonnet. Bonnets help prevent lint from getting to your locks and protect your hair from breakage, especially while you're sleeping. If you're a boy with locks or just hair in general, go get you a bonnet. They're very unisex, they're for anybody, and they help protect your hair.
Do not go to sleep. Do not go to sleep
without that satin bonnet on. You'll thank me later. I'm joined by a guest. Everybody meet Lucky. I don't think my cat's been on my channel yet, but yeah, this is my cat. Aww. He's so cute. It's very important not to dry retwist your hair. All that dry friction can cause damage and a bunch of breakage to your hair. When retwisting, you want to make sure that your hair is damp or at least a little wet from spray. This helps for an easier, less painful, and healthier retwist. One thing about locks, they take forever to dry. I cannot stress how long they take to dry. Even when you think your hair is dry, I promise you, it's definitely not. Especially with these thick 4C locks I have, it takes hours, if not even days, to fully dry my hair. Do not go to sleep with your hair not fully dry. It will leave a smell. You will have to rewash. If you let the water get trapped in your hair without trying to dry it, it can lead to mildew. When I first get done washing my hair, I like to get a big graphic tee and wrap it around my hair instead of a towel. Towels tend to pull pieces of your hair and it's very uncomfortable. That's of course just the first step. I'd recommend getting an under head dryer or one of the attachments to help your hair dry faster. It's very helpful in lowering the time that it takes to dry your hair and can make the drying process a lot easier. As a girl who's dyed her locks 3 different colors with minimum damage, I'd recommend not bleaching your hair no earlier than the first year of having your locks. I bleached and dyed a section of my hair right at my first year of having locks, but if I can go back, I'd probably wait a while to do it. Bleach does strip a layer of your hair, and a lot of people think that it cannot damage locks, but it certainly can. Over bleaching can leave your locks being very thin or even falling out, which nobody wants that to happen for sure. I definitely do not. With bleach or dyed hair, it's very important to moisturize your hair daily to keep all that moisture into your locks to prevent all of that from happening. Using oil is another great way to help moisturize your hair. It can help with itchiness, give it that extra little shine, and grow your hair a lot. At the same time, make sure not to over oil your hair because it can eventually dry your hair out. Locks can trap a lot of product, lint, and even smells in your hair. That's why it's very important to get your hair detoxed to get all of those things out, especially if you've gone a while without washing your hair. They're literally so simple. All I use for my detoxes are baking soda, lemon, vinegar, some honey, and turmeric. That's really it. I let my hair soak in that mixture for a while, and then I go wash and dry my hair. When you first lock your hair, or when you're starting to do your own retwist, you might be tempted to just use anything targeted towards locks. But do not do this. Make sure that you research and see the reviews on all the products you're about to use. Don't waste your time with this mango and lime lock gel. This does not work. You might get it recommended to you by somebody at the hair store, but do not use that. This is the lock gel that I've recently been using. I just used it for the first time last weekend and it worked very well for me. It wasn't greasy like the other one. It didn't white up, no flakes, nothing. Pretty good. You might see little knotted balls on the bottom of your locks, especially as they start to form. It's very important not to pull these off. They actually help your hair lock, and pulling them can not only lead to breakage, but can also cause your locks to unravel, making the time of them locking even faster. I'd recommend either leaving them alone or getting some type of tool like an interlocking needle to push it back into the bottom of your lock. I still get those with my locks now, but I just snip that part off instead of pulling it. Do enjoy the journey of your locks. Looking back at pictures of my hair almost 4 years ago just locked, it's so crazy to see how that length transformed into the length I have now. It's just so rewarding to see my hair get more and more beautiful as they grow. And don't not at all, compare or expect your locks to look like somebody else's. It's okay for someone to inspire your lock journey, but don't expect your locks to look just like theirs. Locks come in so many different shapes and forms, and it adds to everyone's own originality. It mainly just depends on your hair type, and again, everyone's different. And most of the time, you just need to trust the process. Trust me and trust that process. That is all for today's video. Thank you guys for sticking around. I hope these tips are very useful to you guys. And best of luck to those who are starting or are on their lock journey. I wish you the best. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and a follow, only if you want to. I'll see y'all next video. Bye. Just a band in my panties for fun. I wanna flex on my hair in a bun. Don't wanna pound little bitch, I want tons.